is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the yearly predictions for the next year of 2023, customized to your lagna or to your rising sign. So now friends, to begin with, like I have divided this video in two parts. In the first part, I will give you an insight the way slow moving planets and other planetary alignments is going to be influencing all of us on a global level. And then in the second section, we will try to get into the customized areas of your life, like your finances, your job, relationship, all sort of wish fulfillment, how the planetary vibration is going to be influencing you guys next year. And friends, if you have not watched my video for the numerology based calculation, it's my earnest request for you guys to watch that video as well, because from the numerology as well, via calculating the universal year vibration and your customized personal year vibration, you also get to know the theme for the next year customized to your life. So okay friends, before we will start our discussion, I just wanted to wish all of you guys a very happy new year. My earnest wishes that all of your wishes shall come true this year. All of the hard work which you have been putting in, you should get the result of all of your hard work, and this year should open the doors of prosperity, gains, all sort of benevolence in your life. So now friends, like just because I have already uploaded a video as per the numerology calculation, so we have to understand summarized synopsis from the numerology as well before we will dive into the astrology. So definitely friends, next year the energy is going to be of the number 7. If you are going to be making a sum total of 2023, it is going to give you the resulting number as 7, which is a number governed by or ruled by Ketu. So one thing is for sure, if you are going to be putting a lot of dedication, a meticulous approach and attitude towards work, if this is going to be your ethics, your work style in all areas of your life, definitely not only you will attain perfection, but also you will get all sort of due recognition for your hard work as well. Second thing is that friends, on a global level, definitely we cannot overlook this fact that next year in all those communities and countries where they are already going through the concerns of the religious persecution, religious intolerance, so that is going to be all-time high. Now this is one indication which is not only getting validated from the numerology but also from the astrology as well. Now friends, when we talk about in the areas of scientific discovery, innovation, space exploration, regarding that front, next year is creating a very positive energy. And lastly, definitely these days we all are diverging into the cryptocurrencies, all sort of parallel mode of payments and banking. So regarding that front as well, next year is creating a very positive energy. Now friends, shifting our discussion to the astrology. So picking the planet Saturn first and studying the contribution of Saturn throughout the next year. So friends, Saturn is going to be transiting in its Mool Trikona sign of Aquarius on January 17th. So now this is going to be a formal full-time entry of Saturn in this own sign of its. Now just because Saturn briefly transited the Aquarius sign during this year as well, it gave us this insight or a sneak peek, a kind of a trailer that what exactly Saturn has in its mind for us. But now once Saturn is going to enter Aquarius sign formally, all of those results will start getting manifested. Now you can also understand it in this way, that whatsoever hard work you have been putting in from the past 2.5 years, the result of all of your those hard work will start reaping results. Second thing is that friends, because within each zodiac sign there is the energy of 3 different nakshatras. So Satbhisha is going to be the forefront of manifesting the results of the Saturnian energy. Now it becomes very important to understand the innate qualities of the Satbhisha nakshatra. Now friends, as you know that Satbhisha constitutes of more stars than any other nakshatra. So that means that Sadbisha has got a lot of intellectual potential. Sadbisha has got a lot of healing potential. Sadbisha has also got a lot of spiritual potential as well. But like the way many like astrology researchers have come to this conclusion, that when we talk about the mental turmoil or mental anguish and fighting the inner demons, these are the areas where you have to control yourself. So now friends, definitely it all comes down to in which dignity this Sadbisha influence or Sadbisha energy is influencing you. Now let's say for example, if your moon nakshatra is Sadbisha, or your Lagan nakshatra is Sadbisha, or your 10th house lord is sitting in the Sadbisha, then definitely you will perceive or you will experience the Saturnian restraining influence to its intense way. And also friends, if your profession, your life hovers around the signification of the Sadbisha, where we talk about the engineering or technical pursuit, anything to do with the pharmaceutical industry, medicine industry, and these days, just because I keep on coming across these consultation queries that I want to make a foray into the herbs, into Ayurveda business, healing business, so definitely regarding all that front, this transit or this stay of Saturn in the Sadbisha will definitely kind of benefit you. Now friends, the innate quality or the essence of the Sadbisha is about secrecy and it's about scientific pursuit. So let's say for example, if you are a researcher in any field and you have devoted your heart and soul into your craft, so then during this year, this can actually give you some sort of discovery in your craft, in your given field as well. Because at the end of the day, the combined universal year energy as per numerology is of Ketu, which is also promising the similar thing. So very good year for people engaged in the healing business, medicine industry, pharmaceutical, technology, artificial intelligence. All those people will definitely get benefited. Now friends, one thing which I want to say over here is that because even my own moon nakshatra is Sadbisha. With Sadbisha, there has always been one thing which is always advised, that how you handle secrets, like it becomes very important for you. Like there has been all those cases where someone who got access to something which was hidden from the world, which become a reason for the success of that specific person. And in certain cases, just because a secret of this top politician got leaked out in the media, and which became a reason for the fall of that person. So how you manage the secrets and how much attention you give towards the spiritual religious austerities will be at its forefront when Saturn is going to be transiting in the Sadbisha nakshatra. And friends, it becomes very important for all those people like in whose case there has always been a temptation towards the intoxicants, drugs and all sort of hallucinations causing substance. You have to stay disciplined because Saturn's transit in the Aquarius, and within Aquarius in the Sadbisha, can create some trouble regarding the willpower and resistance in these areas. Now friends, because Saturn is going to be turning retrograde as well, so like from June 17 till November 4th, Saturn is going to be in a retrograde motion. So Saturn will start its retrograde journey from the Sadbisha's second pada and will end at the Dhanishta's fourth pada. So these are the time period when the restraining energy of the Saturn is going to be at its peak. Like Sadbisha might be carrying all the good qualities within itself, but when we talk about the mental anguish, so over there Saturn can cause lot of concerns, grave concerns. And also friends, because like the way whenever a planet is retrograde, it gives rise to its cheshta bal. So that is also going to be a time period where if you are abiding by a spiritually oriented, disciplined lifestyle, some breakthrough can also be made. Now friends, now shifting our discussion to understanding the behavior of the planet Jupiter. So guys, Jupiter will formally enter the sign of Aries on April 17th. Now friends, from Jupiter's perspective, which represents wisdom, fortune, good luck, so Jupiter's entry in the sign of its very good friend Mars can be seen as a very good sign, because all the Jupiterian wisdom will get the theme and platform of the fierce qualities of the planet Mars of Aries to manifest the results. But during this year, the vulnerability is that once Jupiter is going to enter the sign of Aries, it is going to come in the influence of the Rahu. So now friends, this influence of Rahu on the Jupiter is going to have a pros and cons attached to it. So the benefit side of this influence of Rahu on the Jupiter is that during this year, a lot many people will transition to different religion. People will transition from one faith to another faith, from one belief to another belief. Technology will play a very pivotal role in the transmission of the spiritual knowledge and wisdom. And also friends, regarding people taking interest and the acceptability of the alternative financial mediums like cryptocurrencies and all of that will also go all-time high during next year. And also friends, regarding the matters of the foreign travels or import export, regarding that front as well, the next year is creating a very positive energy. Now friends, when we talk about the vulnerable side of this influence of Rahu on the Jupiter, so now friends, definitely you will get attracted towards the foreign religion or different guru and teachers and mentors. Now on a financial plane, for the material plane, there couldn't be any better influence of Rahu on Jupiter. But when we talk about the spiritual aspect, when we talk about the true transcendental knowledge, wisdom, and specifically attracting all those guides and mentors who have got good interest in their heart for your well-being, for your growth, so all those areas are definitely going to be in the scrutiny. And guys, also because I mentioned this thing that the next year the universal energy is of 7 is of Ketu. So because all of this influence of Rahu and Jupiter is taking place in the Aries sign, so a lot of intolerance and contrasting opinion towards each other's belief and faith will get experienced, will come to everyone's notice next year. And also friends, like many times what has also been seen that because it's the energy of the number 7, so it will also unravel lot many secrets as well. That too, all those kind of persecution which has been done in the name of religion, which has been hidden from the people's or the public's eye, will also come to everyone's attention, everyone's notice. And lastly friends, if you want to understand the contribution of Rahu and Ketu next year, so friends, next year on October 30th, Rahu and Ketu are going to be changing their axis, changing their signs. So Rahu will make an entry in the Pisces sign being ruled by the planet Jupiter, and Ketu will enter the Virgo sign being ruled by the planet Mercury. So now friends, if you remember at the time when I uploaded a video on Rahu and Ketu's transit to the ongoing Aries and Libra, I mentioned this thing that although lot many astrologers are not in this favor that it is going to be manifesting good results, but I foresee that transit or this ongoing transit as still beneficial. But now friends, Rahu's transit in the Pisces and Ketu's transit in the Virgo is going to be very sensitive, very volatile, with extremities in store for everyone. Now it all comes down to individual to individual. The dignity and role of Rahu and Ketu, nodes in your life, how they have manifested results so far in your life, their dignity. Are you also going through the dasha of either of the nodes? Is your profession straight away come in the purview of any of the nodes? Then it can get determined that in which direction they are going to be manifesting results. Because friends, definitely Rahu's influence on Pisces. Now Pisces is a very transcendental energy, and as you know that Rahu's influence on someone's emotional mental state, like Rahu's straight impact or influence on someone's natal moon, can make you very confused, can make you very delusional, can make you very obsessive. Like Rahu is the chief significator of all sort of psychological problems which are these days found in the society. And definitely Pisces energy can give rise to all these kind of confusion and delusion to its peak. And also friends, when we talk about Ketu's influence on the Virgo, so as you know that Ketu is a very spiritual planet, and Virgo is all about discipline, it's all about the material duties and responsibilities. So Ketu in the Virgo can also cause problem in the form of getting into like a sudden job change, transition in your portfolio, or people getting into unusual vocation, making some wrong choices at their professional front, giving rise to strong enmity, giving you powerful enemies. Now this could be real or imagined, but this could give rise to all these kind of circumstances as well. So now friends, the thin layer lies on your religious faith and how much spiritually oriented you are, because we cannot even overlook this fact that the overlap between the Ketu and Virgo is of the perfection. And when we talk about the mutual overlap of the qualities of the Rahu and the Pisces, so definitely friends, because Pisces has got a very transcendental vibration, and Rahu can actually make you completely submerge in any of the field where you are currently engaged in, like all these people who are in the foreign trade, cannabis business, or art and craft like filmmaking, photography and research exploration of any kind. So completely getting submerged in your craft can also be foreseen with this influence of Rahu in the Pisces. Friends, we only talk about the material side of the Rahu. Like definitely Rahu cannot make you very religious, that is for sure. But when we talk about the spiritual prospect, so you cannot even overlook this fact that out of all these three nakshatras of the Rahu, it's the Sadbisha which is considered as the epitome of spirituality. So definitely friends, it all comes down to the choices you make, the kind of role notes are playing in your life, and basis that you can determine that what kind of results from October 30th Rahu and Ketu are going to be manifesting in your life. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for this general universal trend and the behavior and movement of the slow moving planets next year. There are also certain signs which are going to be heavily getting influenced next year because of the movement of the planets, like for example Aries, where Jupiter and Rahu are going to be transiting, and Aries is also going to be receiving the third aspect from the planet Saturn. Then comes the axis of the Leo and the Aquarius, because friends, on Aquarius Saturn is going to be transiting, and Leo is a sign which is receiving aspect both from the transiting Jupiter and the Saturn, and Scorpio as well, because Scorpio is going to be receiving the 10th aspect of the planet Saturn. So okay friends, now we will shift our discussion to your customized lagna, and we will try to understand the way next year is going to be turning out for you. So friends, we will first start with the kind of spiritual message which I have received from the major arcana tarot cards as a part of your yearly theme. So guys, the card which I have received is very positive, it's very auspicious, which is the Magician card. So this card in itself tells about that divine will be supporting you in any of your material concerns. Like guys, when it comes down to looking at the specific cards which has got more to do with luck supporting you, so whether we talk about the Magician card or the Wheel of Fortune card, I have seen in my readings that these cards generally helps people in a very surprisingly way, like you would not have anticipated, and suddenly some help, some support, someone came into your life and they helped you, they played a very pivotal role. So definitely guys, and we cannot even overlook this fact that during this year Jupiter will be transiting in your trine house. So overall, the energy of this card is very auspicious in the form of receiving the right set of guidance, support and help from the omens, from the nature, from the gods. Now guys, just because I have got other cards deck as well, so the card which I have received as your guardian angel, the Hindu god which is going to be protecting you during this year, so that god came out to be in the form of the Skanda, the son of Lord Shiva, the god of war. So the blessings which this god is bringing in your life next year is preservation of youth, prowess in the military arts, in any sort of strategy making, in any sort of competitive situation, strategic thinking in politics, leadership qualities in times of peace. And guys, the Bhagavad Gita card which I received as a part of the shloka which will protect you next year came out to be from the chapter 8 verse 5 and 6, and the extract of that is, at the time of death whoever relinquishes his body, remembering me alone at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. So remembering God in every moment of your life, in the time of hardship, in the time of happiness, will become very important next year for all the Sagittarius Lagna people. So now guys, we will shift our discussion to the astrology. Now first, studying the contribution coming in from the slow moving planets next year for your Lagna. So now guys, Saturn, which has been transiting in your second house from the past 2.5 years, finally on January, Saturn will move to your third house, which can be seen as a very good sign. I have said this thing so many times that in the charts of lot many self-made millionaires, entrepreneurs and people who are like freelance, self-employed, you will find this kind of strong dignity of Saturn in the third house. So definitely guys, Saturn will actually encourage you, motivate you to instill or sow seeds in the right direction, and your confidence, your drive, your motivation will actually take you in the right direction. Now guys, looking at the contribution coming in from the planet Jupiter. So Jupiter on April 21st will come out of your fourth house and will transit in your fifth house. So definitely guys, although the individual placement of Jupiter in the fifth house can be seen as a very good sign, it is one of the auspicious trine houses, and this mere presence of Jupiter in the fifth house can actually give success to people who are planning to have a child, or people who are connected with the art, entertainment, media related field, anything to do with the for the students as well. This placement of Jupiter in your fifth house can be seen as a very good sign. Now guys, during this year, because Jupiter will come in the influence of Rahu the moment it will enter your fifth house, so definitely all those people who are actively working in the fields of speculation, or in your line of work, in your education, working in the new age technology, innovation, or you are planning to apply for foreign university, all of you those pursuit can actually give some very good returns for all the Sagittarius Lagna people. Now guys, looking at from the perspective of the nodes, Rahu and Ketu. So definitely Rahu on October 30 will change the signs and it will enter your fourth house. So now guys, I want to be very honest over here. Rahu's placement in the fifth house can still manifest some very good results, but Rahu's placement in the Pisces, first of all, Rahu being in the fourth house is a one red flag sign, and Rahu's placement in the Pisces is another vulnerable sign that if in your natal chart your moon is not in a strong dignity, and you're a kind of person who is always have this insecurities, issues with anxiety, or some sort of confusion or betrayal in the domestic life from people close to you, a part of your family members, so I would say that then you have to remain cautious after October 30. But before that, like I would say till October 30, Rahu's placement is in your fifth house, and try to make the best use out of that. And specifically after April, once Jupiter will also get conjunct with Rahu, and I always say this thing, Rahu is like a head, and whichever planet it gets conjunct with, it tries to become the brain or head of that planet. So definitely if the material aspect of Rahu will start driving the qualities of the expansive planet Jupiter, so a lot of material gains can be expected. Now guys, looking at it from the Ketu's perspective, so definitely Ketu is transiting in your 11th house. Ketu's transit in the 11th house has been seen in the charts of many successful politicians, people who get lot of honor and reward in the society. But many times what happens is that Ketu kind of restrict your social circle. So I would say that if in the past 1.5 years, like because Rahu and Ketu stays in one sign for around 1.5 years of time, so if you have experienced that till October 30 in the year 2023, that your friend circle is getting very restricted, or you're only hanging out with people with either psychological issue or very much and strong spiritual orientation, so all those things will come to a stop, I would say, for sure. And definitely once Ketu will enter your 10th house, so I would say that your actions will be very much driven very much focused, and I'm actually looking at lot many Sagittarius lagna people after October 30, that you will be very piercingly focused towards your goals or what ultimately you want to accomplish. And a lot many Sagittarius lagna people after October will also go through lot of transformation at your professional front as well. Now friends, shifting our discussion to the individual houses and individual areas of your life. So now looking at the matters of your first house, your ascendant lord. So your ascendant lord is going to be transiting in the 4th house till April 2023, which can be seen as a very good sign. I'm very much sure that if your dashas are running favorable, are running supportive, so a lot many Sagittarius lagna people would have experienced this happiness in their domestic life. A lot many Sagittarius lagna people might have also considered buying their own home as well. Now guys, on April 21st, once Jupiter will enter your 5th house, definitely your priorities will shift towards the matters of the 5th house. Because guys, whenever ascendant lord makes any move, somehow our circumstances start treating us or start giving us priority and start pulling our attention in the matters of that house. So definitely ascendant lord being transiting in the 5th house will not only give you results of this lifetime, but the good deeds done by you in the past lifetimes as well, because this is the house of your purva punya as well, past life merits as well. And a very good time for students, for people connected with the art, entertainment, media related industry, and all those people who are planning to expand their family. So all those events can be foreseen with this entry of Jupiter in your 5th house. Now guys, one thing which I want to say over here is that next year you have to remain a little bit cautious pertaining to the matters of the influence in your life. Like specifically if you come from a very orthodox, very traditional community, so then the kind of influence you have around you, that will become very important, because you know that whenever Rahu start influencing Jupiter, it can give you material benefit, but it actually contaminates the true pristine qualities of the planet Jupiter. But guys, the good thing is that, as you know, that 5th house in a way tells about your vibe, the kind of energy, aura you exude. So definitely people who are connected with the fields of mass media, where your charisma and your personality, that sort of innate curiosity around you, where everyone is interested in you, everyone wants to know more about you. So whether you are a politician, whether you are an actor, or in any way you are connected with the mass media, so all those people will definitely get benefited next year with this entry of your ascendant lord in the 5th house. Now guys, looking at the matters of your 2nd house. So definitely guys, in your case, just because from the past 2.5 years, Saturn was transiting in the 2nd house. Now guys, Saturn's transit in the 2nd house, many times it has been seen that it actually creates a lot of inertia in the house where it is going to be transiting. And just because Saturn is a planet of miserliness, so I do not know how many of the Sagittarius lagna people have actually experienced this sort of dryness in their financial inflow, but all of that is going to be a matter of the past. Now definitely because Saturn will leave your 2nd house, so you will start experiencing a free flow in the matters of your finances. Also guys, because in your case Saturn has got the rulership of both your 2nd house and the 3rd house, so whatsoever your financial goals and your plans are, like specifically if you are a kind of person who is very expansive in your plans, in your vision, or you want to grow, whatsoever your current circumstances are, your prevailing circumstances are, you want to outgrow that. So I can assure you that next year will definitely give you a lot many opportunities. And lastly guys, when we talk about the 2nd house related matters, because you know that the whole energy of the next year 2023 is, if you will make a sum total of that, it is the number 7, it is the energy of the number Ketu. So with Saturn's presence in the 2nd house and the whole universal vibe of Ketu, It could have otherwise made you very like dogmatic, very orthodox with your tradition, with your beliefs. But I would say that this like Saturn leaving your second house will definitely make you very accommodating towards other people's values and belief as well. And let's say, for example, in the past 2.5 years, if you have experienced additional burden of responsibilities from the family members, or if you have faced any rift, any dissatisfaction in the matters of the way people around you have been treating you in the past 2.5 years, so all of that, all those miseries, adjustments and sacrifices are going to come to an end, and you will start getting the benefic side of the second house manifesting results in the lives of all the Sagittarius lagna people. Now guys, seeing the matters of your third house. So definitely guys, Saturn's presence in any of the air houses is considered as very good. Now whether you talk about the 7th house where Saturn attains exaltation in the original Kalpurush Kundli, or the 11th house. But the beauty of the third house is that Saturn, which in itself is the significator of karma. So 7th house can actually give good result to someone who is already in a established business, or 11th house can actually give you lot of fame or reputation. But if you are in that stage that you want to initiate, you are in that crossroad of your life that you want to jump or switch from one venture to another juncture, so I would say that this placement of Saturn in the third house actually support all these kind of aspirations. So for all those people who want to start their own business, or you are already, like if I were to say, if you are a small fish in the world of business, so this year if you will reach out towards some support or any funding, any sponsorship, any investment, working on new ideas, collaborating with new people, so all those things can materialize for a lot many Sagittarius lagna people. Now guys, I want to be very honest over here. The only essence or mantra of Saturn in the Aquarius is that in the matters of your third house, where we talk about your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues, just try to remain as helpful as you can towards their needs, towards their pain. So only if you will be working out with a empathizing tone towards the living signification of the third house, trust me, their support will also help you in gaining success in the material aspect of the third house as well. So overall guys, I'm actually looking forward to a lot many Sagittarius lagna people progressing in the right direction, or at least sowing seeds of their professional success next year for sure. Now friends, looking at the matters of your fourth house. So definitely guys, Jupiter, which is transiting in your fourth house till April. So I have already mentioned this thing, that in the matters of your domestic life, the blessing will be experienced. Now guys, the concern over here is that next year in the matters of your fourth house and the fifth house, Rahu and Jupiter are bringing their combined influence, because as you know that your fourth house lord will transit to your fifth house, and it will get conjunct with Rahu over there, and after October Rahu will transit to your fourth house. So I would say that definitely guys, if in your like if you are in any of the real estate business, anything to do with the working from home, so how you are making use of technology in your daily life, all of that will become very important. And also guys, I want to make it very clear over here, when we talk about how to handle or tame the energies of Rahu, so many times what happens is that try not to exaggerate too much on the domestic problems, because Rahu is only going to make the matters worse. So the more you will work with this mindset of letting go in the matters of the domestic life, domestic problems, domestic situation, the better Rahu will manifest results being in your fourth house, or being influencing the matters of your fourth house. So guys, overall if I were to say, pertaining to the matters of your fourth house, from where we see the you're dealing with the masses. Like this is the actual house of the throne, which becomes very important for people connected with politics or all the actors or people in the real estate business. So definitely guys, I would say that the first 4 months will be very supporting if you want to book a home, buy a home, sell out a home, or any of the important auspicious events if you want to organize within your family life. So you can think about doing that, or even launching a new company or laying foundation to a new business. All of that can be considered till April safely. But after April, whatsoever decision pertaining to the matters of the fourth house you have to take that very cautiously, like because the influence of Rahu on your fourth house lord after April could drive you towards a disputed property. You bought a plot or a flat or an apartment, and then you got into that conflict with the owners, or there would have some issues in the terms and condition. So after April, any of the matters of the fourth house, you have to take that very cautiously. And I would say friends that specifically people who are working in the domains of the mass media, I have already mentioned, whether you are actor, politician, or in the top bureaucracy, all those people are definitely going to get benefited next year the way planetary energies are influencing your fourth house. Now guys, looking at the matters of your fifth house. So definitely guys, as you can see over here, that your fourth house lord will transit your fifth house after April of 2023. So definitely Jupiter's transit in the trine house is considered as one of the very good transit. So like definitely you will reap the rewards of not only this lifetime but the past many lifetimes as well. Second thing is that guys, definitely for anything to do with the return on investment, it's a very good year for you. Second thing is that, see, try to understand this thing. Whenever we talk about the matters of the profession, you have to give attention to the fifth house as well, because if third house tells about the potency of your efforts, so because fifth house is 8th house from the 10th house, so any of the professional transformation also we see from the fifth house as well. So I would say that if you are in that crossroad, that you have to take any important transformation, switching from one industry to another industry, switching from one profile to another profile, switching from job to business, or starting to do your own consulting work. So all those work will actually be met with the blessing of the planet Jupiter for sure. That is something which I can say. Second thing is that guys, in the matters of the love and romance, so I want to be very honest over here, this year can actually give you much of the distraction or temptation towards the opposite sex. So that is the one area, or the same sex, depending on your sexual orientation. So all of that will be a matter of concern. Second thing is that guys, for the students, I want to be very honest, you have to focus on your grades, because the energy of this combined influence coming in the matters of your fifth house can actually give you a lot of distraction towards social media, what is happening in around you, rather than putting your more focus in your grades, in your education. And yes guys, for anything to do with the spiritual practices, I would say that next year for sure many Sagittarius lagna people will be fascinated towards. These days we have many social media guru and online experts, online gurus. So many Sagittarius lagna people will take interest in all these distance learning courses, or gaining any siddhi or diksha from any of their far placed guru. So this is how the next year's energy is going to be influencing many Sagittarius lagna, because of this combined influence of Rahu and Jupiter in your fifth house. And also guys, because fifth house also tells about your thought process as well, the way your mind function. So I have already mentioned this thing, all those Sagittarius lagna people in whose case you are a kind of person who's always confused, or like while taking any important decision you are always getting nervous, or any of the concerns of the after effect of a weak moon in your natal chart, then next year can actually create lot of anxiety or lot of confusion while taking any important decision. So I would say that Select your advisors very carefully. These are the only things which I want to say pertaining to the matters of your 5th house next year. Now friends, looking at the matters of your 6th house. So definitely guys, in your case, Venus has got the rulership of your 6th house. Venus will start the year on a very good note, transiting from some very good houses. Like Venus is going to be transiting in your 2nd house, which can actually give you some good rewards for all the hard work which you have been putting in, specifically for all those people who are in corporate job, multinational company jobs and all of that. And also guys, when we talk about the matters of the dispute or arbitration, so next year is not making you any vulnerable. Like there are certain alignments which can actually make someone prone towards politics or fear on the account of hidden enemies and everything. So your 6th house is not acting as a hindrance next year for sure. Rather, I have already mentioned this thing, I have strong faith in my tarot readings. So even the card which has come is of the divine protection. So I am very much sure that you will get rewarded for all the hard work which you have been putting in. And what you have to keep in your mind is that next year you do not have to work with this mindset of only managing the existing thing. You have to work with this mindset of expansion. Only if you will work this mindset, the transit of the slow moving planets in some important houses of your natal chart will also reinforce your will and can grant you success in all of your expansive vision as well. Now guys, there are certain months, like in the month of April, when your 6th house lord is going to be conjunct with Rahu in your 5th house. So over at that time you have to remain very cautious of your behavior, your conduct in the workplace. And the month of August and September, when your 6th house lord is going to be going retrograde and transiting in the 8th house and the 9th house, at that point of time you have to remain very cautious and careful at your work related dealings. But apart from that, in the matters of the 6th house, I'm not seeing any of the major concerns troubling you. Rather, you will be working very hard and you will come out as very competitive in any of the work related situation. Now friends, when we look at the matters of your 7th house, which primarily tells about your public image, your commercial interest and the concerns of matrimonial life. So guys, if you will pay attention, excluding the 7th house, all other air houses are being disposited by the karmic planets, like Saturn transiting in your 3rd house and Ketu transiting in your 11th house. So definitely guys, somehow karma will take a toll in the matters of your 7th house. So let's say for example, if you have been good pertaining to the matters of helping other people, your public image is well dignified because of the good actions done by you in the past, or even in the business, you are a kind of person, you work with complete integrity. So I would say that you will definitely receive the perks in the matters of the 7th house. Also guys, the transit of Jupiter in the 5th house, in a way, from the 5th house, it aspects the 11th house as well. So for all those people who have been single, for marriage taking place, this can be seen as a very good year. Because guys, once Jupiter will transit to your 6th house, a lot many Sagittarius lagna people will start facing the kind of blockage in the matters of relationship or financial inflow. But I would say guys, this entry of Jupiter in your 5th house will not only boost the houses it is going to be expecting, but also 7th house will also get this upward lift as well. So guys, overall, if I were to summarize, barring 2 months, like the month of January, when your 7th house lord is going to be retrograde in your 1st house, so take any of the important decision carefully which could have a negative effect on your public image. And in the month of May, when your 7th house lord is going to be retrograde, being conjunct with the Rahu placed in an enemy sign in the 5th house. So these are the 2 months when you have to remain very careful. But apart from that, whether we talk about your public image getting enhanced, receiving some good commercial benefits, business benefits, and also people tying a knot, getting married in the next year. So regarding all that front, next year is actually creating a very positive energy for all the Sagittarius lagna people in the matters of their 7th house. Now friends, looking at the prospects of your 8th house. So definitely guys, the beauty is that from the past 2.5 years, when Saturn was transiting in the Capricorn in your 2nd house, it was giving the straight aspect to your 8th house. So I'm very much sure a lot many Sagittarius lagna people might have faced the pressure or the heat in your dealing with your in-laws, or in the matters of the joint resources as well. Now the benefit part was that Saturn might have driven you or made you interested in the occult subjects as well. But when we talk about Saturn's straight aspect to the Cancer sign specifically, it is always a matter of vulnerability. So now definitely guys, Saturn would have transited to your 3rd house right at the beginning of this year. So I'm actually looking forward to Sagittarius lagna people feeling relieved in the matters of the 8th house. Now guys, next year is not making you vulnerable pertaining to the matters of the scandalous energy which could otherwise creep out from the 8th house. Like rather I would say that just because the next year the universal energy is of number 7, the number of Ketu. Now Ketu has got a co-rulership of the Scorpio sign which falls in your 12th house as well, another of the Moksha Bhava. So I would say guys, definitely next year the 8th house related and connected energy will manifest more of its awakening, epiphanies, realization, believing in the practice of manifestation. So this is how the 8th house will generate results for all the Sagittarius lagna people. I'm not seeing you guys any vulnerable pertaining to the any of the scandalous or controversial energy of the 8th house affecting you negatively next year for sure. Now friends, looking at the matters of your 9th house. So now guys, the good part is that if you will follow the transit rules which gets followed in Vedic astrology, so whenever these two slow moving planets like Jupiter and Saturn, they influence one specific house or sign, somehow not only you receive the divine blessings in the matters of that house, but also you get this chance to do something substantial pertaining to the matters of that house as well. So I would say guys that if your life hovers around the matters of the 9th house, or you're planning to initiate the process which involves 9th house next year, like planning to relocate to a new country or thinking about taking admission in any foreign university or in any way, because of the energy of this major arcana card as well, divine will support you, luck will support you in any area of your life next year for sure. So guys, definitely I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable. Remain very much respectful towards your guru, remain very much punctual and very regular with your religious austerities and religious practices, and definitely you will get the best out of the divine support and luck in the matters of your 9th house for sure. Now friends, looking at the matters of your 10th house. So definitely guys, Mercury has got the rulership of your 10th house, and just because before Jupiter was aspecting, like Jupiter will keep on aspecting your 10th house till April, but after that your 10th house will be completely on its own only after October when Ketu will transit over here. So guys, honestly speaking, for anything to do with like doing something substantial, starting something new, or contemplating any professional transformation, next year is very conducive for that. So guys, whatever I'm saying over here, I'm saying it via including lot many combinations, because as you can see Saturn's transit in the third house. Saturn is a slow moving planet. Just it is going to enter in the month of January only. It will start giving you indication, hints, or start doing the groundwork for any important changes which you need to make. And trust me, once on October when Ketu will enter, it is going to be a bang and you will be at the right place. So definitely next year, pertaining to the matters of your 10th house, I only have two things to say for you, for your lagna. First is about transformation and working out more with this mindset of expansion. Let's say for example, if at your work front you have fallen into a rut, or you are in that monotonous phase that your professional endeavors are not getting any uplift, irrespective of the fact how capable you are, how much caliber you have, and how much efforts you are putting in. So I would say that next year is enough mindset. You have to take that call. So definitely guys, just the 2 months, the month of January, when your 10th house lord is going to be retrograde in your first house, you have to be careful. And in the month of May, when your 10th house lord is going to be in a retrograde mode in an enemy sign, being conjunct with Rahu in your 5th house. So these are the 2 months when you have to remain cautious, careful of your professional endeavors. But apart from that, definitely next year will prove to be very transformative for a lot many Sagittarius lagna people pertaining to the matters of their profession. Now guys, if you will look at the matters of your 11th house, so definitely guys, Ketu is going to be transiting almost the whole year in your 11th house. Second thing is that, see, Ketu is gaining power next year because the combined energy of the 2023 is of the universal number 7, the number of the planet Ketu. So I would say that guys, anything to do with the matters of all those people who are eligible for any kind of power, political seat, next year will generate very positive news in the matters of the 11th house. And guys, whenever we talk about the role and contribution of Ketu over there, it's like two things which I want to say. First of all, listen to your heart while taking any important decision, specifically where you are a part of the collective, a part of the group, or even while contemplating any of your professional goals or your vision for your life. I would say listen to your gut feel, what your heart is giving you indication. Second thing is that religious austerities will also become very important next year because of the influence of Ketu. And rather than wasting your time in the trivial matters, or like the way there is a Jim Rohn quote, a lot many people do spend a major time of their day doing minor things. So do not waste your time in all those people, in all those actions who are just draining you of your time. So you have to remain very critical, very selective in your socialization. You have to be very focused, and I would say guys, definitely your intuitive self will guide you, will put you in the right direction. Ketu is strong next year, which is a harbinger of this news that a lot many people will enter, new people will enter your life, and lot many old worn out connections which are just draining you of your energy and distracting you from your ultimate purpose and goal, they will go out of your life for sure. So this is how guys you will experience transformation in your social network for sure. And all those people who are eligible for the any of the political seat, and if your ongoing dashas are running favorable, so with the surprisingly sequence of events, circumstances can put you on the throne. That can be said with complete confidence looking at the planetary influence in your 11th house. Now friends, looking at the matters of your 12th house, so definitely guys, in your case, Mars has got the rulership of your 12th house, and Mars will start the year transiting in your 6th house in the Taurus sign and will end the year coming back to your 12th house only. Second thing is that guys, in your 12th house related matters, Saturn is going to be giving its 10th aspect to your 12th house. Now Saturn's 10th aspect tend to remain aspect which gives result, which gives the judgment for all the hard work which you have been putting in. So I would say, guys, I want to be very honest over here, and because Scorpio also has got the co-rulership, like the rulership of the Scorpio goes to both the planet Mars and the Ketu, and the next universal year vibration is of Ketu. So guys, pertaining to the matters of your 12th house, I would say whether it's about overseas travels, overseas settlement, foreign university admission, or all those people who are very actively invested in research, exploration, or for the attainment of siddhya or any of the heightened spiritual practices, for gaining success in all these areas, if you are working hard with complete discipline, energy is very strong. Now guys, one more thing which I want to say over here is that just refrain from any of the secretive clandestine activities, because that will not give you the best out of the way other planets are contributing their influence in the matters of your 12th house. So this is something, friends, which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs pertaining to the matters of your yearly predictions. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.